This is reassembly of the magazine for the NR1890DC and NR1890DR magazine. You want to keep your preventive maintenance on this magazine. You want to keep it clean so it works, so your nails, your fasteners slide through it with ease. There's two 4mm bolts in the front that hold the magazine to the nose. There's one 4mm bolt in the back to hold it to the handle. Take those off, set them off to the side. Your magazine comes off. Make sure that you remove all your fasteners before you take this magazine off, so the fasteners don't shoot out the front. Remove your fasteners, take your magazine off. First thing you want to do after you take your magazine off, you want to take off this rear bolt in the back. Now hold this nut. Unscrew this bolt. And remove the bolt. That allows you to remove this rail, but don't take it off yet because it's holding the magazine together. We're going to go ahead and remove these 3 screws in the back. You do not have to remove the feeder handle. That can stay on if you're just cleaning. If you have to replace the spring, you do have to take this handle off. But for just cleaning, you can leave it on. So we've taken out these 3 screws. Take off your rail, set it off to the side, and clean that out. Now be careful, hold the magazine so it doesn't fall apart, because right now we've got 3 screws out and the rail out, we can separate the magazine halves. Set it off to the side. Take off the front piece. You can clean all this out, clean out the center piece, the in between here where the nails are coming out, clean out the outside. It sets in these holes right here that are in the magazine. These notches go in the holes. You can take out this nail rail, clean all that out, make sure that your fasteners slide down through there. The better they slide down through there, the better off you are. Take a green scratch pad, clean off the slide plate here. You could get a buildup of residue from the correlation, so make sure that's nice and clean. Blow this out, wipe it down, dry silicone spray. Keep your magazine all clean and worry-free. The nail lockout, that has a spring on it, but it doesn't have a lot of tension, so you can pull that out without any trouble. Take that spring off, clean off that nail lockout, set it off to the side. This other piece down here has more tension on it. Pull your feeder to the rear a little bit just to take the tension off of it. Take a scribe and stick it in that spring so you're in control of that spring as it comes out. There. You can take the spring out. See this plastic piece here, it stood up. That's how you take it out. You stand it straight up and it comes out of the hole down there. You can't put it in laying down. In order to put it back in, you have to stand it up. So clean all this out, blow it out, dry silicone spray, preventive maintenance. To put this back in, you're going to stand it up, put it in the hole, just like that, and then lay it down. You lay it down, there's a notch right here. It has to go in front of that notch. It can't go, not supposed to be, can't be behind it, it has to be in front of it, just like that. Take your spring, now be careful because there's going to be some tension on it. There's a round portion on the front of that plastic piece. Oops. See, be careful. You got to keep the feeder back so you have enough room to put the spring in. Put the spring in, keep your finger over it, and then carefully let the feeder back forward. Alright, that holds everything in place while you work with it. Now you've got this piece cleaned off. The spring on your nail lockout is going to rest on this notch here, and then the back hook is going to be on the back of that plastic piece you just put in. So put your spring on the shoulder and put it right in there so it fits, so it goes around the back side. Now it'll stay in there. If you want to put a little bit of grease on this, grease also acts as a repairman's glue as you put everything back together again. So all this is cleaned out already. Now we can put it back together. The rail, after we've cleaned it out, slide it back in. If it stops at the back, push it down a little bit and it goes all the way to the back notch here. the nose piece. Put that back on. There we go. A little bit of an angle to get it onto the rail, and then these circles lock into the circles that are in the magazine. Lay this back down. Now carefully take your other half, make sure that's seated, that's in there nice and snug, and carefully turn it over and line up your screw holes and bring the magazine right down on it to where it's right together. Move it back and forth, hold the two pieces together. Make sure your nail lockout is moving while you move your feeder. No gaps in your seams. Now that you've got it together, you can put your rail back on, and that'll help you hold it. Just a double check. Put your screws back in the 3 slots on the top. These are steel screws going into plastic, so make sure that you don't strip it out. Not too tight, just get it down there to where it's snug. There. Put this bolt back in. Get the nut started by hand. Hold it. 2.5 millimeter hex wrench. And tighten that back up. There we go, nice and snug. And then we're good. Putting it back onto the tool. A little bit of blue Loctite on the 2 4mm bolts on the front. A little bit of blue Loctite on the back, on the bolt on the back. You put it in there. Put all the screws in loosely. Make sure that they're all in loosely. And then once they're all threaded, then and everything is in position correctly, then tighten them down. All right, that's it. Your maintenance on your magazine. Keep it clean.